Welcome everyone to the beginner's rule we made this Monday. Today we are looking into the market together and talking about the art of buying and selling. My name is Olugbemi from Nigeria. So if you tune in with me, you may want to tell me where you're joining from. If you're regular participants in my session, all good. You know what we do. You can use the chat box, ask questions as much as possible. So thank you all watching me from either the YouTube or from the XM Beginners Room. All right, we are all here and we are looking at what the market has to offer for us this week. This week, we are expecting some high impact news in the market. I think all our eyes are more on the major news on Friday from the US, which is the NFP. We'll be expecting the employment report from there on Thursday. Prior to that major report on Friday, we'll be looking at the claimant claim, so those ones can give us like preamble for to what may happen on Friday in the market. There are different inflation reports, CPI here and there, Eurozone, and then we have the RBA interest rate decision this week. So we have a lot that we're expecting this week. We're expecting that the week begins on a cool note. Then toward the middle of the week, we start having more higher impact news that can affect the market. So yes, this will get us prepared and ready to trade the market. So how are you all doing today? And what are you looking forward to? You may want to share with us in the chat box. Miriam, good to have you here. How are you today, Miriam? Um, okay, I think Carl is from the other session. All right, Miriam, welcome, welcome. How are you doing? And how was your weekend? Okay, I was trading British pound yen on Friday. It was a buy, and interestingly, it got to the expected take profit. I was looking at it get back here. I took it just somewhere down here. I entered somewhere around here, and I took my profit here. Right now, it's looking like we may have some pullback, even if it's going to continue, because you'd see that every time it got to that resistance, it seems we kept having pullback there. I took my profit somewhere around here. Let me see that trade is here. Okay, here. So I enter here. I took profit here, and interestingly, that was the place the profit got to, or the price got to, and now it's looking like we may see pullback. Well, at what point will I be looking to start selling if this is going to push to the downside? I will be looking first at this area. If this gets broken to the downside, I'll be looking for a sell. And the reason is because we are going to be, at that point, we're going to be seeing like a double top, okay? If this gets broken, 182.09 area gets broken to the downside, then what we're going to be seeing is more of double top. Double top is a pattern that shows that the trend wants to reverse from an up into a downtrend. However, if it pulls down, get to the neckline of the double top and then bounces and go close higher, then of course we continue to buy. And the reason I feel that this may still give an opportunity to the upside is because if you look at it from higher time frame, you would see that in the past you see in the past the price had gone all the way up to so we have like the next resistance area we are looking at is around the 188, and then we still have as much as 195 area that the price could get to. So you see, we still have a lot to the upside if this really wants to move. Yes, there is a common belief on the market that whatever goes up will come down. Yes, it will retrace, but we may have just shallow retracement and this continues all the way up. That would also depend on the strength of yen this week. If yen is beginning to pick up and if the expectation also picks up that perhaps the bank is going to intervene because it looks like yen is getting to that danger zone of intervention. Usually, I think in the past year, when it got toward this area, got toward the 150, there was an intervention. So it's heading toward that area already, and everyone may be expecting that if this would get higher a little more, then it would start pushing to the downside. Perhaps the central bank of Japan, Bank of Japan, maybe this time around they are going to start increasing the interest rates. Okay, and if that happens, I think that can give yen some level of strength. So if yen picks up level of strength, then of course I'd expect movement to the downside. But as it is now, the trend is still pointing to the upside. Okay. So it looks like we have some questions for me here. Um, Good, thank you. Okay, Cal says, good morning. I'm still in the chat. Cal joining from South Africa. Good to have you, Cal. How are you doing today? Good morning. I'm joining from South Africa. I've been in few of your sessions. Looking forward to nice learning. Oh, non-Swakazi, right? Good to have you. Happy to know that you've been in some of my sessions. Good to have you back today. How are you all doing and what are you trading today? So today we're going to be talking about the art of buying and selling mainly. We all desire to find good quality trades in the market. And as traders, what we do in the market is to buy and sell. We analyze the charts. Some of us prefer technical analysis, some prefer fundamental sentiment, and there are some who do combination of different ways of analyzing the market. At the end of it all, what are we looking for? Opportunity to find trades, whether to buy or to sell. Okay, but what does this involve? Buying and selling. What does it really involve? All of these movements we see in the chart. What can it mean for me? Okay, a part of it is what we started with, analyzing one currency pair and trying to look at it, looking at other currency pairs too. Like I started with British pound yen. I'm looking at USD yen now because I know that whatever is happening with USD yen can tell a lot about what's the yen, what the strength of yen is. So if I am looking at British pound yen, I can come here so that I can have like a clearer idea of what is likely going to happen with the currency. I may also want to look into the fundamentals. I look into the economy. What's happening in the economy? Is it likely going to have some impact on this pair that I want to trade? So we started by talking about the high impact news we are expecting in the market this week. How do we expect them to affect the market? These are ways that we analyze because we know each of these currency is impacted by whatever is happening in the economy. Okay, whatever is it's going on in the economy, whether the level of currency, the strength of the currency is going to increase or weaken, may all the economy may have a large impact on that. Okay, if whether there is going to be high interest rate, whether the inflation is increasing or decreasing, the GDP, all of this would come together to tell a lot about how the currency is going to behave in the market, and that is why we want to look at what is happening. Now, XM has provided us this opportunity with the economic calendar. I'm going to be showing that to you now. If you go to xm.com, go to research and education, you can come under the research part, go to economic calendar, and you can come here, see what is expected during the week. In fact, you can go and analyze and see of all of this that are expected within this week, what how are they behaved in the past? Okay, so you can go on and look at the event charts, look at the price chart, look at the volatility with the impact. Okay, all of this have been put in place for us so that it can ease our research when it comes to trying to understand how this is going to impact the market. Yes, there is unexpected news at this time. Okay, so I may come here and say, okay, this is the time, 9:30 a.m. This is what I am expecting. This is the country. This is the currency pair it may affect. All right. But what impact it is likely going to have on it? If I click on this, you see there's a write-up here, just like a summary of what this is all about. Then you see event chart, you see price chart. You can do like a back test of how this had been volatile in the past, how did it move, what did the price charts look like around the period of the events. What you're doing is trying to understand the volatility, okay? Trying to see what happened in the economy, okay? It looks like on the YouTube, we also have a chart. Can you mention the moving average that you're using? Zahir Hamed, also a word on gold, please. All right, Zahil, good to know that you're joining us from the YouTube. Let's go look at the what you're talking about. Okay, chart, I have two moving averages. I have the black and the red. This black one is 50, the red one is 20, and both of them are exponential moving averages. Okay. So yes, when we are analyzing and try to find opportunity to buy and sell, we can start looking at the fundamentals, looking at high impact news, how did they affect the market and all of that. And then we bring it down to the charts. I want to come to the chart. If I come to this chart, one of the first things I would look out for is the trend. So are we in an uptrend or are we in a downtrend, or maybe it's a sideways market? I want to be able to tell this based on what I am seeing in the market. This way, it becomes easier for me to analyze and know exactly what I want to do, whether it is best for me to buy, sell, or to hold. Okay. Now, let's go take a look at the question Zahil asked, which is on gold. We will look at gold, and that way we use it to explain what I have been talking about here. Yeah, let's remove this tree line. All right, so I was looking at gold this morning myself, and let's start from the weekly. On the weekly, would see that the major trend is up. All right, the major gold is up. We have an uptrend in market, higher highs, higher lows. Now, question is, how did last week close? Last week had closed more like a pin bar, okay? More like a bullish pin bar. If you look at how the candle looked like, it has a long wick below, and it has the body of a candle above. There's also a small wick above. Usually with this kind of candle, it shows that the price had pushed down at a point, but the sellers couldn't, maintain that strength to push it all the way down. So it bounced back. At the time of the close of the candles, the buyers were still able to push the price all the way back to this point. So now the price is moving down, but I don't trust that too much. If I am looking to trade there, I would likely enter from a lower time frame to look for a buy. Okay, the major direction, by the way, like I had said, is up, but right now it's is still pushing to the downside. It's still that in that corrective move from the weekly. Okay, so now we have a big bullish candle closing Friday. Thursday at close as a bullish pin bar when it got to around this area. Now, if this would pull back, this is looking for me more like a pullback, okay, like some correction. This has pushed up, this is correcting, that we may have opportunity to the upside again. So for me to find the buy now, I can see on the early time frame, we have what looks like head and shoulders. Okay, we have like head and shoulders inverted. We have the neckline here. All right. Do we have a close above that area? And now it looks like we are retesting the neckline. So what do I want to see? Another move to the upside here, and I'll be looking for a buy. So in that case, I'll set a pending order so that you would understand what I'm looking out for. I'll set a pending order for if this really wants to go back. By the time it goes here, I will be buying. We have J Square TV on YouTube. Is asking for my share on GBP USD. And then in the beginner's room on Hexam, we also have Carl asking what time frame I usually use. All right. I usually start my analysis from the weekly, and from that weekly, I take it down to 4 hour or 1 hour for entry. So right now, I'm looking at gold from the 1 hour. Okay, I'm looking at gold from the 1 hour, and I'm saying that I feel this, if this would go back up and close above here, I will be buying.